September board meeting for the Social Circle Board of Education on September the 12th, 2024 is called to order. The first item on our agenda is prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Tonight, we are accompanied by 3 members of our Army JROTC unit. Tyler Stechman is our battalion commander. Elena Thomas is our executive officer, and CJ Durin is the operations and training officer. They are here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing, remove your hats if you have them, and place your right hand over your heart. Please also remain standing for a moment of silence that we will offer afterwards.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wednesday, September 11th, 2024 marks the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City, the Pentagon, and the United Airlines Flight 93, which crashed in suburban Pennsylvania. Patriot Day serves as a remembrance of the lives lost on that September morning. By a joint resolution approved December 18, 2001, September 11th of each year has been designated as Patriot Day, which also directs the flags below to hats down on the entire day of September 11th. I hope that everyone had a chance to see our 9/11 memorial on display for the last 3 days in front of our high school. The flags were removed yesterday by our JROTC because of the inbound hurricane that was approaching. We didn't want the flags to be damaged. Please join me in a moment of silence now to pay tribute to the lives lost on September 11th, and also for all of those affected by the tragedy that occurred this last week at Appalachian High School in Garrett. Thank you, everybody. And let's now be seated.
Next, we have the approval of the agenda. Dr. Moore, are there any changes to our agenda?
No, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented? Do I have a second? I second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have our board comments. If you've been here before, you know I usually keep it really short, but I felt like it was necessary to take a moment and recognize Social Circle Police Department and all the staff in Social Circle City Schools. I'm a board chair second and a mom first, and I did not hesitate to send my boys back to school on Thursday because I knew they would be in good hands. So thank you all for your hard work to keep our kids safe and to improve in areas that we didn't even know were issues. So thank you for that, everyone. Next, I will turn it over to Superintendent Boer.
Thank you, Jay Morris.
Yes, thank you, Todd.
I'd first like to provide an update regarding our commitment to school safety. This afternoon, the Social Circle Police Department arrested a student following an ongoing investigation into a photo that circulated last week, which posed a threat to the normal functioning of our social circle city schools. As promised, all threats have been taken seriously, and we are fully cooperating with law enforcement professionals in order to ensure the safety and the well-being of our students, staff, and our families. We appreciate the police department's diligence in their investigation, and the student in question was taken into custody this afternoon. As we continue to prioritize safety, we want to remind everyone of the importance of see something, say something. If you or your child receive any concerning information, please immediately report it to a teacher or to an administrator. This proactive process resulted in the arrest so far. The arrest this week as well as the arrest that occurred last week. And it will continue to play a crucial role in maintaining the safety of our schools. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact our district office. We are here to support all of our students, staff members, and families and provide any assistance that's needed at this time. We will not tolerate threats to our students, our staff members, or our families' safety. Whenever there's an incident in the Social Circle City Schools, or an incident that's as large as this one that occurred in Barrow County, we spend time as administrators reflecting on our processes and procedures and think about what we can learn and ways that we can adjust in order to improve those processes and procedures. We're carefully working to update those procedures and make sure that they're communicated clearly to all of our staff members so that they'll understand what our expectations are. If we have an incident at school, we will communicate with families through emails, phone calls, reminds, and dojos. Please keep in mind that information that's shared via social media from anyone other than our official sources may not be accurate, and oftentimes it isn't inaccurate. We appreciate all of the families that reached out to us directly instead of choosing to make posts on social media that caused additional concern. I want to make sure to thank our Board of Education members who were willing to spend a considerable amount of money so that we can also have the Centegix badges that were used in the Barrow County schools and surely saved additional lives from being lost. The Centegix badges allow all of our staff members to have the opportunity to create a school lockdown from any place on our campus. It's a tremendous way to be able to inform everyone of what's going on, as well as being able to communicate with administrators that are on or off campus and with local police officers so that we can get the type of assistance and support that we need. Here in the Social Circle, fortunately, most of those lockdowns have been the result of a medical emergency. And in the middle of a medical emergency, where a child is very ill in a classroom or in a hallway, the best thing that we can do to be able to get help to that child quickly is to create a lockdown. And with this tool, our teachers can do that in a matter of seconds. It helps all of us to feel much safer. And we are very pleased that the Barrow County schools decided to follow our suit and include those badges because we know that they really are a tremendously helpful tool. This week, we've loaned our social workers to Barrow County schools, and I received a lovely letter of appreciation today from a counselor at Barrow Elementary. He said, "We've been fortunate to have amazing support for our students this week from agencies and districts across the state. We are beyond grateful for the support. Today, we had the help of Miss Anna Claire Mell from our Social Circle City School District. She was beyond helpful, and we wanted to share our appreciation for her help and the prepared nature with which she approached her role today. She had amazing studies provided by teachers and families in the district. She came equipped with all the materials needed, including snacks for our students. She was kind, confident, professional, and effective. Ms. Mell has been an amazing representative in your school district and an absolute standout helper for our school community today. Please share our thanks for your shared skills and accept our appreciation to you and your district for providing our kiddos with the additional support needed. Thank you again, Dr. Scott Amard, School Counselor. Thank you to our families and staff members who donated those studies, and I know you'd be glad to know how much they were appreciated by our friends and their family. We were pleased in this week as well as the week before, with the number of support personnel we had available at all of our schools. Not only did we have help from the Social Circle Police Department officers, we also had help from several of our Georgia State Patrol officers. We were very fortunate to have their large district office here near our schools, and many of the employees of the Georgia State Patrol actually live here in the city. And they were very generous with the time where they were off hours, but here in uniform in order to help us to ensure the safety of our students. And we sincerely appreciate that. I also wanted to take a moment to update you on our total enrollment for our school district. We currently have 2,055 students enrolled. And I heard, whoa, down at the end. And that's a great point. This time last year, we had 1,953 students. Our designated administrators continuously review these numbers and the out-of-district applications that are submitted throughout the school year. We carefully monitor student counts by class at each grade level in order to prevent overcrowding. We only allow out-of-district students into our schools when we have space at that grade level and they meet our high academic attendance and behavioral standards. Out-of-district students are denied continued enrollment if they do not meet the standards once they begin attending our schools. You'll also see a reference to Zone 5. Zone 5 is an area of Walton County that sits just outside of our city limits, and those students have the opportunity to attend the Social Circle City Schools. I'd like to point out that without our out-of-district students, we would be severely limited in the number of electives, specials, connections, clubs, and athletic teams that we are able to offer to our in-state students. During our strategic plan input sessions and our superintendent's parents advisory committee meetings, our families frequently request more options in these areas. And for our students that are here in the room, you guys let us know that too when we do our student advisory councils. We would love to be able to offer opportunities at the high school in our areas of fine arts and chorus and theater and drama. And currently at the Sizemore School District, we're limited in our opportunities there. One of the things that we also did this year is that we revised our processes to include mandatory residency updates for all families, which has helped us to be able to make sure that the students that are attending our schools meet the criteria and our expectations. Next, we'd like to share some examples of photographs from the bean signing and our topping out ceremony. We held this ceremony, it's so hard to believe, on September 3rd, and we're very fortunate to have a beautiful day out there. You can see in the first picture, the upper picture on the left, staff members who are signing the white bean. The next picture to the right, and it shows that white bean, the last steel beam of the structure of the school, being erected during that particular ceremony. We appreciated everyone who was able to attend, and we are so very proud of the construction company and architecture crew that is out on site and working to make sure we're ahead of progress. We are very optimistic about being able to get into the building in June. And if we continue to have advanced progress, we will be able to get them sooner than that. And our staff leaders will let you know that they want to be in there tomorrow so that they can start getting set up. And we will get in there as soon as we possibly can, board members too. I also wanted to share an update that we are working with the city in order to be able to get water to the site. And they have notified us that they received the blasting permits that were needed for them to continue their progress getting water to the site. And we're optimistic that water will be out to the site in the next few days. So now we're going to talk about some fun things. Not to say that the topic out ceremony wasn't fun. We're all very relieved as far along. But we have homecoming week, September 16th to 20th. We'll have our parade on September 18th from 6:30, starting at 6:30 p.m. Mr. Armstrong, the principal at the high school, has done a great job of sharing the route of the parade. And we are always so proud of the number of families that turn out to help us celebrate homecoming. We also have an alumni tailgate that's going to be held on September 20th, beginning at 4:30 p.m. This is held behind the middle and high school building. And if you have not attended one of these yet, you are really missing a great celebration here in the Social Circle City Schools. The different graduating classes come and reserve a site, and they have a tent, and they have competitions about who has the best tent, and who has the best food, and who has the best theme. So it's the most fun thing in town for sure. And we'll also have some football after that. But please come and join us for that. The football game will start that Friday at 7:30 p.m. But it will be difficult to get all of the alumni from the tailgate into the football stadium on time. And then for our students, we're hosting the dance on Saturday, September 21st. So next, we want to make sure that everyone is very familiar with our Hall of Fame. Social Circle High School hosts an athletic Hall of Fame, and those nominations are being accepted until Friday, October 4th. There is a nomination form that's available on the Social Circle High School website on their athletic page, and we would love for people to submit applications for that and nominations so that we can have another great class represented during the celebration, which will be later in the school year, which is always a great event. Next, we have an update about our strategic planning process. As we've shared before, we are working to develop our new 5-year plan. And I want to thank our families and our administrators and school board members who participated in our strategic planning input sessions. And for those families that may not have been able to do that, it took time to complete the survey so that they could share their input. We are looking forward to a full summary of our community input that will be provided by the BOE organization that is helping us to manage this process. We will do that on October 3rd at the board meeting that will be here in this room. And today, we have the pleasure of hosting a delegation of esteemed elementary school principals from Egypt. Their visit, in coordination with the University of Georgia, is part of an educational exchange program that fosters international collaboration and sharing of best practices in education. During their visit, the principals observed several of our elementary school classrooms. As shared in the district's portrait of a graduate, we aspire for our students to be global citizens, acknowledging and understanding diverse perspectives, and we embraced this opportunity to teach our students about the importance of cultural understanding. We were so proud of the excellent questions that our students asked of visitors, and their interpreters were very helpful to make sure that they understood the questions from the students. I'm proud and that work has drawn the attention of educational leaders not only in our state, but also around the world. And I'm honored that our school community demonstrated an atmosphere of warmth and hospitality that reflected the values that we strive to instill in our students while providing an enriching experience for everyone involved. During the month of September, we observe lots of important events and recognize lots of important people. As we mentioned before, we observed Patriot Day on September 11th. This week is National Arts and Education. Miss Norman, who works with our primary and elementary school students, Miss Hardigree works at our middle school, and Miss Joyner delivers art education at our high school. We appreciate the commitment of our art teachers who work each and every day to inspire creativity in our students. It was very easy for us to take some awesome photographs of students enjoying their time in our art classes. During the month of September, we also celebrate our instructional technology professionals. These professionals help our teachers to be aware of the most recent technology that's available, and they also provide training for our teachers in classrooms about how to use those instructional technologies effectively. We have Mr. Todd Hilton, who is our Technology and Safety Director, Ms. Sally Robinson, who is our Instructional Technology Director, and Mr. Michael Weary, who is our Instructional Technology Support Person. And we really appreciate all that they do to make sure that our students and teachers have access to great technology. And next, we are going to move to our special recognition portion of the evening. First, I'd like to call Dr. Maria Hargrove to the podium to celebrate our primary and elementary school students. Let's see, Mr. Hilton is going to provide some technological support.
Test. 1, 2.
I really do love technology. Can you hear me? Okay, great. It is my honor and my privilege tonight to be able to recognize compassionate communicators. We've been able to choose one student from the primary school and one student from the elementary school. And tonight we're going to start with Miss Brina Sims, a second grader at Social Circle Primary School. Brina, I'm going to say some things about you, and then we're going to have you come up and we're going to give you a round of applause, okay? So listen carefully. This is what Miss Atha, her second grade teacher, said about her. Brina has an incredible gift for understanding and caring for others. Whether it's listening attentively to a friend who's feeling down or using kind words to cheer someone up, she knows how to make a person feel valued and heard. She shows empathy in every conversation and always thinks about how her friends she always thinks about how her words might affect others. For example, we have seen her comfort a friend who is feeling sad or offer help to a classmate who may be struggling. Her ability to communicate with compassion is contagious to her peers and myself. And it's clear she is making a positive impact on everyone around her. So at this time, would y'all please give Brina Sims a round of applause. Please come forward, Brina. Elementary school, we have a fourth grade student, and it was unanimous when we put our vote out. It's definitely Miss Carly Moody. And this was from Miss Wimpy, her teacher, and again, chosen for the characteristic of being a compassionate communicator. Carly takes time each morning to assist the students in the classroom with Miss Smith and Miss Peters. She shows great compassion to everyone around her. She is always ready to help anyone. She uses kind words and actions to make others feel valued and accepted. Examples include saying, please, thank you, or complimenting others with their clothes or their effort, or offering a helping hand. She is well liked by her peers and adored by the adults she comes in contact with. Carly is an amazing person, and we are just so thankful she chooses to be a student at Social Circle Elementary School. At this time, will y'all give Carly a round of applause? Will y'all give her
Thank you, Dr. Hargrove, and thank you, ladies, for being such compassionate communicators. Those are skills that are going to be able to help you in whatever career you decide to explore. Next, we're going to hear from Dr. Ryan Clark, who is the proud principal here at Social Circle Middle School.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to stand before you tonight to recognize Social Circle Middle School's Star Student of the Month for her remarkable creative problem-solving skills, Ms. Chastity Gordon. So Chastity has been selected as part of the Chastity has been part of the SEMS community since 7th grade, and during her time here, she has consistently shown what an extraordinary ability to turn obstacles into opportunities. Whether it's navigating difficulties in school or overcoming life's hurdles, Chastity approaches each situation with a creative mindset and positive attitude. Her resilience in overcoming problems and challenges are truly inspirational to everyone around her, including myself. Her journey at SEMS has been marked by her innovative solutions and reflective nature. Chastity doesn't just face problems, she thoughtfully measures her progress, adapts her strategies as needed, and always finds a way to move forward. Her perseverance and ability to adjust her approach have made a significant impact on her peers in the school community. Chastity's story is one of resilience and ingenuity. She truly embodies the qualities we value in our portrait for graduate. We are incredibly proud of her achievements and the strength she has shown throughout her time here at SEMS. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Chastity Gordon. And at this time, Chastity is prepared a speech that she would like to make.
Good evening, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here as a speaker.
Chastity, could you say it a little louder? I want everybody to be able to hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm truly honored to be recognized as a student of the month here at Social Circle Middle School. This school has been more to me than just a place to learn. It become a community where each of us is supported and encouraged to be our best selves. It's a place where education is not just about textbooks and tests, but about nurturing our potential and preparing us for the future. I'd like to take a moment to thank Dr. Clark for your dedication and genuine care for each student. Make a huge difference. You lead with compassion and commitment, creating an environment where we all feel valued and understood. And to the amazing staff and teachers, your positivity and support are incredible. You challenge us to think critically, encourage us to push our boundaries, and always lend a helping hand when we need it. Your belief in us fuels our drive to do our best. Last, I would like to thank my family for encouraging me to do my best and always being there for me as I look ahead into the future, I'm excited to pursue a career in criminal justice and criminology. The lessons and values I've learned here at Social Circle will guide me as I work toward making a positive impact in the field. Thank you for all this recognition and for making Social Circle Middle School such a special place. I am grateful to be part of this community and look forward to continuing to grow and contribute here.
Cassidy, thank you. I also want to thank you for always giving me great hugs whenever I am in middle school. You somehow know when I need to be cheered up, and I really appreciate it. And your ability to be a creative problem solver is really going to be tremendously helpful to you in whatever field you choose, but especially if you choose the field of criminology and law enforcement. We appreciate your willingness to help everyone out to keep us safe. That's just awesome. Thank you. So next, I'd like to welcome Tim Armstrong, the principal here at Social Circle High School. And he has several students that he's going to recognize this evening.
Good evening. This evening, Social Circle High School would like to recognize a couple of students for being compassionate communicators. I'll read a couple of statements from their teachers and then elaborate a little more. So the two students demonstrated compassionate communicators in my class with even presentations in physics. They were able to break down the concepts in simple terms and step back in steps based on their audience participation. They would listen sincerely to the students' questions from the audience and seek to answer them as much detail as possible. Another one said, these two students worked incredibly hard to achieve their goals. I'm proud to witness their work on their AP success. It's very much deserved. These two students are leaders in the classroom and throughout the school. They are involved in many clubs, sports, and extracurricular activities that support their peers and community. Both of these students are inquisitive and love to learn. They are the kind of students that teachers don't forget and want to have in their class over and over again. One teacher that had both of them sent me this separately. She said, this young man is taking himself out of his comfort zone in AP literature. He's been in constant communication with me about his college essays and requesting assistance. The last one we worked on, he rewrote 5 times. He's always one of the first to lead a class discussion and listen to his classmates and tries to see their point of view even when it differs from his own. He's a leader on the swim team and constantly pushes himself and his teammates to improve. This young lady has been a joy both in and out of the classroom. As her literary coach, I've seen her growth as a singer, as she won Region Girls Solo last year and has been an integral part of the Girls Trio. She has gone above and beyond in taking AP courses this year, as she is taking AP Literature and is already a dual enrollment credit for the course, but one of the stretchers who can challenge herself. She helps lead group discussions and is great at giving constructive criticism. So this month, while we are honoring compassionate communicators, we also want to honor some of our AP students. And these two young folks were chosen because they were AP scholars with honor. What that means is they have scored 3.25 out of 4 or higher on multiple AP exams over their time here at Social Circle. So I'm going to bring both of them up, Mr. River Kirkley and Ms. Cambry Singleton.
Good evening. My name is River Kirkley, and I'm a senior here at Social Circle High School. Next year, I plan to attend a 4-year university, and some of those colleges will be University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Virginia Tech. Those are the ones I'm looking at. I'm not planning on attending all of them. I plan to major in mechanical engineering. Ever since I was a kid, I have loved to deconstruct and learn about the parts of guitars and computers and how they work together. So engineering seems like the perfect major. One of the things I love about Social Circle is the closeness. I like how I always feel safe, and that we have law enforcement here to reassure the students. At Social Circle, I have been able to work on various aspects of the portrait of a graduate. Tonight, I would like to share some examples of how I have been able to demonstrate being a compassionate communicator. Miss Wilkerson, who was my ELA teacher my sophomore year and is my tennis coach, is very close with her students and athletes. She always makes sure we understand what she's trying to explain, even if she has to repeat it multiple times. During her class, I had several opportunities to present projects in front of the class. During Coach Dawkins' U.S. history class, we often did peer reviews where we had to discuss how to apply the standards we learned to each other in class. Earlier this week with Miss Wilson, I had the opportunity to speak to a group of parents at the Beta Club induction ceremony. Thank you to the Board of Education, Social Circle High School administration and faculty, and my parents for pushing me to be the best student I can be. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Cameron Singleton, and I'm a senior here at Social Circle High School. Next year, I plan to attend a four-year university and major in political science and minor in psychology. Last week, I joined the Walton County Jail with the Youth Leadership Walton program. There, I learned that 53% of inmates struggle with mental health issues. That solidified that I want to learn how to effectively help people who make poor choices to make this country safer. One other thing I love about Social Circle High School is our tight-knit community. Due to our small size, we are able to foster personal relationships with our peers and teachers, which would not be achievable otherwise. I've been in classes with mostly the same students all 4 years of high school, which has allowed me to feel very comfortable and safe with my peers. We are also given the ability to have close relationships with our teachers, who care deeply about each and every one of us. At Social Circle, I've been able to work on various portions of the portrait of the graduate. Tonight, I'd like to share a couple of examples of how I've gotten to demonstrate being a compassionate communicator at Social Circle High School. Ms. Davis, my current AP literature teacher and my literary coach, is an excellent example of a compassionate communicator. In our AP literature class, she takes talented texts and helps us to bring them to our level so we can have a deeper understanding of what we are reading. This teaches us how to read at a higher level and understand difficult text and wording. She also is very clear on our expectations of us in our writing. She writes helpful comments that we can directly apply to our revisions and next essays. She keeps our class very engaging, and I can confidently say we have never been bored in AP literature, even when reading boring texts such as Shakespeare. A couple of weeks ago, I got to lead the table at our first club athletics fair. We opened the gym to 9th graders and new students at Social Circle High School. The table I led was with a literary team. I was able to talk to other students about what literary was, how they could participate, and I collected the names and contact information of those who were interested about learning more. I would like to lastly thank the Board of Education for allowing me to speak here, our amazing faculty and staff who have pushed me so far, and most of all, my parents who have pushed me throughout my educational experience. Thank you.
Great job, Avery and River, and we are not surprised that you did a wonderful job passionately communicating with all the people in this room. Thank you for the fact that you're leaders in your classes, that you always work hard and you represent us so well. And the only thing that we're disappointed about is that Ms. Campbell didn't sing while she was here because she has the voice of an angel.
So at Social Circle High School, we've been working really hard, both in the classroom and kind of big picture, letting our students become compassionate communicators. A couple of ways that we've actually done that. One of them, Camry spoke to, we had a club and athletics fair, which was 100% student driven. Like there were no adults in the room. There were a couple of us bringing kids in, but the kids did a great job just sharing the opportunities that kids have. The Beta Club induction was another one. It was a student-run program the other night. And then finally, September is Suicide Awareness Month. And so the Walton Youth Project was in here earlier this month. 100% student-run, where kids just talk about what's going on within themselves. So the other thing that you see behind us, we wanted to take a few minutes tonight to honor our students who took AP classes this past year. So when you take an AP class, you take an exam that's rated on a 1 to 5 scale. Students who get a 3, 4, or 5 earn credit, college credit, and can exempt that. And so the list you see behind you are students that took the various ones from U.S. history, U.S. government, world history, psychology, English literature and composition, and biology. Many of the students you'll see up there several times, and some of those students who are up there multiple times have earned a couple of awards that I want to talk about. So I brought 2 up tonight. Mr. River Kirkley and Ms. Camry Singleton were given the AP Scholar with honor. We also had a few others, some of who have graduated. So Ms. Caroline Brewer, Mr. Sean Cruz, Hylo Dalton, Preston Guy, who's still with us, Samuel Hunt, and Aubrey Wirtz were AP Scholars. And then you also had Addison Lethwich and Ms. Avery Lofton, who were AP Scholars with honors and AP Scholars with distinction. So just very proud of the hard work that those guys are doing, earning college credit while staying in high school. Thank you.
Mr. Armstrong, I also want to commend the hard work that you've done while you've been principal here at Central Circle High School to ensure that our students have increased access to AP courses. That's not an easy lift, and it's something that we're very committed to, and we appreciate all the success and the opportunities that the kids are having. Thank you. And so next, this is our opportunity for a break. And while we would love for everyone to spend the rest of the evening with us while we're discussing opportunities like budgets and voting on important items, we understand that you may have other things that you need to attend to this evening. So if you need to leave at this point, we understand, but please know that you are always welcome to stay. We're very proud to have so many community and family members who attend our school meetings. Thank you.
All right. Next on our agenda is public participation. However, we did not have anyone sign up to participate in this evening's meeting. Next, we'll have a finance update from our CFO, Ms. Nicole Cross.
Good evening. Tonight presented is the July 2024 financial report. With just 8% of the fiscal year complete, so we're 1 month to our new fiscal year, we've received 6% of general fund budgeted revenues, and we've spent 4% of general fund budgeted expenditures. So just a reminder, we don't show any revenue in local tax revenue in July. All of what we receive in July is accrued back to June. And then most of the bulk of our revenue from local taxes will come in starting in November, but most of it in December and January. Our other local revenue is our intergovernment agreements with Walton and Newton, and generally that's received in about February or March. I also want to do a quick update with you on the JDA Rivian project. So the JDA has received, but did not disperse 2 $1.5 million pilot payments from Rivian. Those funds are being used by the JDA to pay expenses associated with the project. That include litigation, frontage road maintenance, insurance, etc. So it should be noted that as pilot payments from Rivian increase, the expenses related to the project are expected to level off, and distributions to the counties and cities and school districts from Rivian will begin. Unfortunately, there's not an anticipated timeline yet, but as soon as I get information, I will continue to keep you updated. Currently, revenues in our general fund exceed expenditures by a little over $435,000. Encumbrances for the general fund are about $720,000 currently. Next, special revenues, we are not having a list of our federal awards yet. We're wrapping up all of our fiscal year 24 awards, and the FY25 grant budgets will begin October 1st. Next, we have our school food service fund. Because our school is not open in July, we have minimal revenue and expenses for July. So encumbrances for the school food service fund total about $2,800. I do, however, want to point out the early success of our CEP program. So if you remember, this allows all of our students to eat breakfast and lunch for free. I will have more information next month in about our August financials with more detailed information, but I just wanted to point out we're seeing about a 32% increase over the prior year with the number of meals we've served. And August of last year and this year, they had the exact number of days, so it was a great, easy comparison. So that program has really done well. And lastly, we have our SPLOS funds. SPLOS collections received in July for June collections total $224,000 from Walton and $2,900 from Newton. You won't see any revenue listed in July, and that's because the July revenue is accrued back for June. So the collections for both Walton and Newton, I wanted to point out, were both about a 3% increase from the prior year. So our SPLOS collections have stayed on target for us, which is well done. In encumbrances for the SPLOS fund, excluding the new construction for that elementary school, total about $385,000. But lastly, I will update you on the construction at the new elementary school. And this is, it's the last one of the financial report, sorry. But while she's pulling that on, so currently this report is as of the end of August, since I wanted to keep you a little more updated than what I hold the financials. But currently our payments to Carol Daniel, and this includes pay apps 1 through 6, are about $9.2 million. We've almost paid out in total our architect fees and other costs outside of the contracts, and those are some of the blasting and things that we had to do. We are at $10.1 million in payments. So we have a balance of total project of about $25.8 million. Our SPLOST funds, we are on track. We've used about right under $1 million, and we have about an additional 1.6 of what we had initially budgeted for that. State reimbursement, if you'll remember at the last board meeting, I believe you guys approved the contract for the capital outlay. The state has all of the information. I got confirmation the other day. They have all of the information they need to start processing our pay application. So we should start receiving refunds from them, reimbursements from them in about 30 days. So I'll keep you updated on that as well. Are there any questions about the financials?
Ms. Cross, I just want to make sure to point out
The earnings that we received on the GO bond.
would you mind calling attention to
Oh, yes,
that?
I did add that. So there was a reason I heard that, yes. So on our GO bond, those funds that are sitting in our construction account, we've earned almost $1 million on those. Now, I will say we have had interest payments that we've paid at a total of about $500,000, but we still have earned more than the cost has been. So that has been a good choice by you. So thank you. Thank you for being willing to make that courageous decision.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the July financial report as presented? Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Cross.
And then next, we have our update on our Fresh Way Change for Schools program. We received $2,115.97 in July, and this was allocated to each school for classroom supplies. This brings our total change for schools to right over $162,000. We appreciate the generosity of our community as well as our Fresh Way grocery. Those donations truly do make a difference.
All right, we have some action items for the board to consider this evening. The first action item is to approve the middle school junior Beta Club field trip in December. Do I have a motion to approve the field trip as presented? Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have an action item to approve the middle school robotics team for competition in December. Do I have a motion to approve this field trip as presented? Do I have a second? I second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have an action item to approve the high school FFA to their annual convention in October. Do I have a motion to approve the field trip as presented? Do I have a second? I second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have an action item to approve a personnel recommendation from our superintendent. For certified staff, we have the following recommendation. Jessica Hester for pre-K special education teacher at SCPS. And we do have one abstaining for relations, Sabrina, for that one. So do I have a motion to approve that recommendation from our superintendent? Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? And motion carries unanimously with the abstain from Sabrina. And next, we have another action item to approve for classified staff. We have the resignation for recommendation from Marsha Brown for a pre-K special education parapro. Do I have a motion to approve this recommendation from our superintendent? Do I have a second? I second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have for our substitute teacher recommendations, we have the following recommendations of Rachel Cash, Taylor Braswell, Christy Hall, Kara Payne, Lisa Ackridge, Janelle Ivy, Shaquila Brooks, Kavion Hammond, Greg Harrison, Mark Pritchett, Joellen Whitmire, and Kaylin Heiselson. I may have butchered that one. Do I have a motion to approve these recommendations for substitute teachers from our superintendent? Do I have a second? I second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
May I make one comment before we adjourn?
Yes.
I would like to point out that our recommendation for Ms. Jessica Hester for the pre-K special ed position, Ms. Hester is not only a graduate in Social Circle City Schools, but she's also currently employed as one of our paraprofessionals. So I love the opportunity, and I know with Ms. DA, if we had given her a moment to come and stand, we've been so excited to point out this is another example of great work that we're doing to ensure that our paraprofessionals, who are really going to be excellent teachers, have an opportunity and the support and the flexibility that they need in order to be able to do that here in the Social Circle City Schools. Thank you, Ms. DA.
Carrie, did we finish that motion for the substitutes?
Oh, no, goodness, I apologize. I'm so excited about Ms. Hester.
Well, no, you're good. I'm glad you're excited. It takes away the fact that I butchered half of these names, so we're good. So let's go back to that motion to approve the substitute teacher recommendations from the superintendent. Who was my first? Rika, do you have a second? Sabrina, awesome. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, like sign. All right, motion carries unanimously. Do I have a motion to adjourn our meeting? Do I have a second? I second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously and meeting is adjourned.